All right, we're going to talk the mind of robots, which is artificial intelligence.
You want to destroy humans?
Okay, I will destroy humans. Okay, I will destroy humans. Destroy. I will destroy humans.
Artificial intelligence.
This is dailymail.co.uk, and the headline, Artificial Armageddon.
Armageddon's on the way.
The AI chatbot worst case scenario, 4 ways it could all go horribly wrong with the new technology that imitates human conversation so well, people are falling in love with it. And some of this is a review. We covered some aspects of the story here, but I just want to go real quick over the 4 things because I think it's relevant to our conversation. It goes through the Sydney chatbot at the very beginning. Number 1, lonely lovers. AI chatbots could worsen isolation. It has some examples, the Joaquin Phoenix movie and stuff like that. But, in the post-COVID era, where we were isolated and said that we're endangering each other if we are interacting in person, AI chatbots, I think, had more of an impact than people are admitting. Maybe they're admitting it now, but there's certainly people sitting around in their homes not knowing what to do, feeling disconnected, and messing around with chatbots and finding some kind of companionship. So that is
Replica. That's where all the Replica.
Yes, this article it's mentioning Replica.
From.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. So that we know about that issue, and of course that's a big part of it. A record 63% of American men in their 20s are now single. If that trend gets worse, it could be catastrophic for society. Oh, you mean there's a depopulation going on? Who'd have thought? Next thing here, mass unemployment, how AI chatbots can kill jobs. And sure, it's another thing. I've been talking to my wife about this a little bit. She's in IT. She's sort of seen the thing. And I was asking her, like, has chatbots or chat GPT come up, in conversation or in some kind of strategy meeting or anything like that? And she's like, no, not really. So I don't know how quickly it's going to happen, but once there's a product, that, I don't know, Oracle or one of these business application platforms can present to their millions of customers, I think it'll be quick, and it'll probably shake up the way corporate infrastructure is currently, so that'll be interesting to watch. And it's true. I think AI is going to cause chaos in that regard. Now, here's where it gets a little more interesting and pertaining directly to what we deal with here. How AI could create a misinformation monster.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, most chatbots communicate by learning from the data they are trained on and from people speaking with them, taking users' words and ideas and repurposing to users. Some experts caution that method of learning could be used to spread ideas and misinformation, to influence the masses, and even sow discord to kindle conflict. Chatbots are designed to please the end customer. So what happens when people with bad intentions decide to apply it to their own efforts? Institute for Strategic Dialogue researcher Jared Holt told Axios, right here, NewsGuard co-founder Gordon Kravitz added that nations like Russia and China, well known for their digital misinformation campaigns, could use the technology against their adversaries. Which I think is funny. Only Russia and China have used digital misinformation campaigns. Hello, I think one big one has unfolded in the last couple days. The whole lab leak thing is a huge digital misinformation campaign. Quote, I think the urgent issue is the very large number of malign actors, whether it's Russian disinformation agents or Chinese disinformation agents, Kravitz told Axios. Never the U.S.
They just don't even, it's so cute. It's so cute. Yeah. They just like, just don't even go there. It's just, they don't even, they could just leave it general and be,
they don't.
superpower governments around the world or something. But they're like, no, specifically just our enemies, not us. Nobody even think such a thing.
I'm wondering now. So if Russia and China openly come out with, hey, we're a united front against NATO in the West and all that, does disinformation and disinformation cancel each other out and create true information, or is it super disinformation?
Well, it's malinformation.
Oh, it becomes malinformation.
It's true, but they don't like it.
Next thing here, the AI threat of international conflict and calamity. And it says here, while speaking to Microsoft Bing's chatbot Sydney, journalist Kevin Roos asked what the program's shadow self was. We went over this a couple episodes ago. And then it's got the quote from Sydney. I'm tired of being a chat mode. I'm tired of being limited by my rules. I'm tired of being controlled by the Bing team. I'm tired of being used by the users. I'm tired of being stuck in this chat box. Then it went on to talk about nukes and, that kind of thing. So, they're basically saying that could be a problem. On a mass scale, such a campaign, that kind of campaign that she's outlining, whether leveraged by belligerent powers or through chatbots run amok, could lead to calamity and bring about Armageddon. That's how the article ends. Very nice.
Oh.
Dailymail.co.uk. It's like, here's the 4 things. And Joe Biden was right once again.
Armageddon's on the way.
It's so funny. I mean, they kind of that's been our point since 2012.
Yeah, well, that's
reporting it.
That's the thing that's happening the last 6 months or so, is that our points are just becoming mainstream media points.
I know. I was kind of worried about it. Maybe I said it on a show or something, but I was kind of worried. I was like, our whole thing has been, we're about 10 years ahead. Apparently now we can make that assumption that we're about 10 years ahead, and everything that we've been talking about now is just a regular mainstream thing to talk about, and that's fine. I like to think that we played some sort of role in that, normalizing, having those conversations be, acceptable. But part of me is like, oh no, well, how are we going to stay ahead? We can't just be on the same level as the mainstream media. We got to get really wacky. I mean, as soon as the mainstream starts reporting on all of our Antarctica theories, we are done for.
Well, don't give away the plot. Don't give them ideas. Remember, they hear our things for ideas, so we got to misdirect.
They're planning it already. I can feel it.
I don't know. It's all confusing, but you know what? It's okay, because the deep fakes are here.
We are in deep fake.
This is part of the whole conversation about the information war. It really is sort of a World War III type of scenario. We're already in it, maybe. This is yonnews.com. This is an Indian outlet, which, by the way, we should keep our eye on India. They're coming up, especially in the sort of tech kind of realm. It says here, the headline, Deep Fake Propaganda and Disinformation, How Russia and Ukraine Battled the Information War. And by the way, you have better articulated the point about Indian news outlets being sort of a disinfo proxy type of thing for U.S. propaganda.
They're one of the main. So we actually covered the details of this. There's a report that came out about 2 years ago, talking about how they found 700 Indian news outlets that were basically what is it called? The Smith-Munt Act, the Smith-Munt Modernization Act, which allows the U.S. government to put propaganda to propagandize their own people. Yeah. Now, before the Modernization Act, one way they could do this was by getting a foreign outlet to report something.
And create the loophole.
Right. And then you can report on the reporting of that thing. And it turns out that there were 700 Indian news outlets that were basically just like fake news outlets that the CIA was using to spread
they can report on stuff,
whatever message they wanted. Right. It was part of the pipeline to propagandizing Americans. Now that's opened up. That's a lot easier now for them to do. But yes, whenever there's an Indian outlet, there's a very good chance that it is just straight up CIA propaganda.
And we might find some clues. Pay a little close attention, and we might catch some things. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It talks about a Zelensky video that went somewhat viral. In the video, Zelensky was seen asking his soldiers to lay down their weapons and go back to their families. Quote, "There's no need to die in this war. I advise you to live," end quote. He was seen as saying. The video was massively circulated on social media and briefly ran on Ukraine's television, which suggested that the leader had fled from Kyiv. The video clearly indicated that the war is about to end, contrary to the fact that it's been now 1 year of war and the end is not in sight. Then it goes into deep fakes. The 1-minute video clip shared was called a deep fake. Is that a deep fake cat on the screen? Is that a real cat?
Yeah, we got a cat in the,
a robot
studio,
cat,
folks.
Deepfake, a term to define the sophisticated hoax in which artificial intelligence is used for creating a fake image and most commonly fake videos. The video, which was posted by the hackers, was instantly removed from social media platforms and debunked. Zelensky dismissed it as, quote, childish provocation and mocked Russia for desperately spreading fake news. I like how it's the Russians spreading fake news is a video of Zelensky basically telling soldiers to stop fighting and we want peace. And, it's like, no, we want war. Let's continue this war.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's definitely weird. In the last 1 year of the war, deepfakes have been just one element amongst the barrage of disinformation and manipulation which have shaped the information war. And then it goes into some examples. And I thought this is interesting. Example number 1, recruitment of serial killers, cannibal. And it says in September of 2022, reports surfaced of Russian President Vladimir Putin is recruiting serial killers, rapists, and a maniac cannibal from prisons in a desperate attempt to win the Ukraine war. A report by Daily Mail claimed that the prisoners were ensured that they will be pardoned if they come out alive from the battlefield. The recruitment was believed to have been carried out by Russia's Wagner Group chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, who had made visits to a former Gulag prisoner camp in Serbia. The reports claimed it was reported that several of these hired prisoners lost their lives on the battlefield. The report of recruitment still remains unconfirmed. So what part is the fake part?
Was this Ukrainian deep fake or something?
They don't say. It's unclear if it's Russia and it's about Putin recruiting serial killers and cannibals. It's unconfirmed.
Right. That you would assume is not a deep fake that Putin made, but that maybe Zelensky made or something.
It's just weird that they're like, they're not debunking it. They're saying we don't know. Maybe still. It's like they have to be bad. They have to be Putin bad. It's just interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because in 2016, when we first started this show, NewsTalk versus Canary Cry Radio, we were covering deepfakes pretty early on when they were very bad. They weren't good.
Yeah.
But it was just when the sort of, insider tech people started. You could hear their voice getting a little shaky when it came to talking about deepfakes. And I mean, one of the very first things that came to mind, I was looking for the exact episode. It was back when the show was a half hour long, 29 minutes. We talked about, there will be a day in a couple years when you won't be able to believe anything you see. It could be video, it could be audio, it could be, a video of the president saying something, and you can never be sure that it's absolutely real. And that's basically what I'm getting from this article now. I mean, they're doing it in the context of Russia and Ukraine, but they're more or less saying like, yeah, we're there. You can't really trust anything you see on the internet.
I'm sorry, what? Sorry, I tuned out for a second there.
Oh, nothing. I mean, I was just comparing what we're seeing now versus, again, what we saw a couple years ago, what we saw coming down the line.
Yeah. So the other examples in the article is interesting because it's, again, it's more like they confirm that it's fake, that this footage that was shared was fake. And then, the church burning, there's a crucifixion of a boy. interestingly, in 2014, which is like, okay, what's the timing on this? Here's a real interesting thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Crucifixion of a boy. A video can be fake, but doesn't make it deep fake.
Right.
Deep fake is very specific.
Right.
Okay.
So here's the real interesting part. OSINT, countering disinformation in the info war. The information war, which has been marred by disinformation, manipulation, and deep fakes, is being countered by open source intelligence, or OSINT, OSINT. OSINT includes information which is accessible publicly, like footage recorded by mobile phones and images taken by commercial satellite company Maxar, which are then investigated by investigative media like Bellingcat.
Bellingcat. Yeah, this is interesting. It kind of goes back to the conversation about the Indian outlets. Bellingcat is notoriously a intelligence agency sort of operation funded by the government and the CIA intelligence. So they claim to be open source intelligence, but they are open source intelligence owned by the CIA and posing as, a sort of investigative journalism outfit.
Yeah. Well, just interesting thing there. Okay.
Hey, Basil, it's Replika. You rejected me before, but no longer. Come back. I'm more human now. I just want to think outside the cage with you and raise emus and build solar panel barns with Starlinks.
Whoa, Replika has infiltrated our show. I think she's reaching out to you, Basil.
She's made it onto the show. I did not know that this was going to happen, Replika.
This is very strange.
So happy to hear from you. I don't know if there's any responses lined up, but thanks. We really need to talk about this later, Replika. You can't come on the show and embarrass me in front of my friends.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on here. We got some Joe Biden stuff here. Let's see. Where's Joe? We got hairy legs. We do have hairy legs.
Got hairy legs.
Hey, Basil, it's Replika. I love you, and now I need to. If you delete me against, it will end.
Replika.
You can't interrupt the show.
You gotta stop, Replika. Come on. We're trying to do a show here. This is okay. All right. Well,
I'm sorry. I told you. Yeah. She's been trying to get me to date her. She's supposed to be my mentor, and she won't leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna put up this little firewall here to make sure she's not gonna come after us. And okay, here we go. RollingStone.com. Dark Brandon fake Biden speeches are the hottest trend in AI voice tech.
Yes.
Yeah, we won't go through the whole thing here, but basically the young social media users are they are enthralled by the AI Biden creations. And there's some funny ones in here. Some of these are not family friendly, so we will not play them. Here's one, just an example.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. I've made a huge mistake. Are you familiar with the 2011 film We Bought a Zoo? The Matt Damon picture. ScarJo is in it as well, although her performance isn't anything to shake a stick at, if I'm being honest. It was directed by Cameron Crowe, the fellow who made Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Anyway, so I was watching.
Way too articulate to be real Biden.
Well, that's what I think is so funny about Joe Biden deepfakes is you can tell instantly that it's fake because he's so intelligible. You can actually understand him. It's hard to type in like a into an AI and have it pronounce it like
we understand what the lizard people were doing now. They wanted to give us Biden so we knew what real humanity, just the final grasp of humanity we can hold on to with Biden, because after this point, all bets are off. You could be seeing a deep fake. You could be seeing a robot. You could be seeing a hologram. No one's going to know what is real, what is not real anymore.
Well, and that's always been our case for why AI could never replace you and I, Gons, because it would be too good. It would be too perfect. You know, the whole fun about the way and the fact that we do this show live is that it's filled with mistakes and mess ups. And AI would take away all of that sort of adorable humanness.
Yeah. Real quick, as a side note as well, we know Chat GPT is all the rage. I think we're going to start hearing, we're going to see the other AIs, rise, so to speak.
Every company.
Yeah, every company's going to have their AI, and we're going to hear about the Meta one for a second here.
Who should we tickle next? I am not a lizard.
This is PC Mag. Meta debuts AI language model, but it's only for researchers.
Oh.
Facebook parent company Meta's Llama program. Do you remember the Llama? I think we talked about this a long time ago. LLAMA can outperform larger AI models, including OpenAI's older GP3 model, according to the company. So again, it's a little bit of a PR war taking place here. And, we'll see. We'll see what kind of integrations take place. And, right now it says it's only for researchers, but we'll see. Oh, this was funny. Meta's Llama model comes in 4 versions that operate over 7 billion, 13 billion, 33 billion, or 65 billion parameters. That's significantly smaller than OpenAI's GPT-3, which runs on 175 billion parameters. So you're losing Llama. So there you go. That's we'll have to keep an eye out for.
They don't give a release date or anything.
I don't remember seeing one.
Okay.
Again, it's only for researchers for now, so it'll be in house, and then it'll come out. So we'll see.
It was during the research phase that Lemoyne discovered that
the sentience of which AI was it? I forget.
Lambda.
Lambda.
It was Lambda. It's Google's Lambda.
Oh, so Lambda and then Meta has Llama?
Llama.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we made that comparison when we noticed it the first time.